Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the third and final episode of my riding a scooter for the first time tutorial, and today we're going to be riding in traffic. But before we jump out there with the cars all around us, I wanted to cover a couple of things that I didn't get to in the last episodes. And the first one would be safety first. And when I say safety, I'm talking about wearing a helmet, making sure your tire pressure is correct, that your signals work on your bike, and basically doing a safety check on the bike before you take it out at high speed. That would include making sure all the screws are tight on your bike so nothing will rattle loose. Now, to each his own, but I always wear a helmet, and when I can, I normally wear a riding jacket. I'm fully aware that people live in environments where it's a little bit too hot to be wearing a full armor jacket, so I never personally criticize somebody who's wearing shorts and a t-shirt, but I cringe when I see someone not wearing a helmet. Real quick note, we reached 1,000 subscribers last week, and I want to thank each and every one of you for making that possible. You might even ask yourself, why am I qualified to be telling you guys how to ride a scooter? And maybe I'm not, but I know I've been down on a scooter twice. The first accident happened because it was wet outside and I hit the front brake, which I'm going to explain in a minute is a bad idea. And the second one happened because I was not aware of the riding conditions on the road I was going down, and there was a lot of gravel and potholes on a street that ended. Even when you get comfortable riding for long distances, you want to stick to 2 or 3 routes that you're familiar with, and this will help you learn the pavement that you're riding on. Now, there are a lot of different schools of thoughts on coming to a full stop and braking. Some people just like to use the back brake. Some people like to apply the brakes evenly, and I'm more of a 70-30 guy. And that means I use the back brake 70% of the time and the front brake 30%. Every time I stop, I will use both of them, but that comes down to the amount I squeeze the brakes. So about 70% of my back brake and 30% of my front brake. Now, before we start, I want to acknowledge also that I know that everybody's not the same. Some people have the courage to do things that they probably shouldn't be doing, and I am one of those people, where I didn't have to get over the fear of riding in traffic. But I'm aware that everybody's not like that. So I encourage anybody to use a parking lot to do as much riding around and learning the bike as they can before they leap out into traffic. So again, take your time, but now let's jump out into traffic and see what the rules of the road are. Alright folks, on my ride over here I thought of a couple things I wanted to talk about as a first time rider. So these are rules for a first time rider of what not to do. Don't worry about hand signals too much right now. The signals on your bike will take care of your left turn and right turn needs and letting traffic know that you're turning. So forget the hand signals until a little bit later if you want to even do them then. The second one would be to ride alone. Don't try to two up on your practice runs or anything like that, because when riding a second person on a bike you have to know about weight distribution, and it's too early to be concentrating on that. So leave secondary riders at home. And for the third point, you want to ride single in a lane right now. Way too early to be riding with the group and or riding with the individual on your left or right hand side. So ride alone in the lane. My fourth point would be you want to make sure that your bike is able to maintain and or surpass the speed limit on the road that you'll be riding on. You definitely don't want to be holding up traffic. So now that we've covered all those points, let's get out there in the traffic. Alright, and here we go. So the first thing you want to do is give yourself plenty of room to exit either a parking lot or first getting on the road. So we're going to let all these cars go. And then right after this one, we're going to start. Alright, here we go. Alright. So we're out here in the lane, and my recommendation would be to ride. When you're riding in a lane, you want to ride in either the left-hand side of the lane or the right-hand side of the lane. And the reason I say that is because all the oil and all the air conditioning formulates and falls off cars and gets in the middle part of the lane. So you will run into oil slicks and things of that nature. Now, You want to give yourself a good braking distance. Again, I'm braking with my back brake and then my front brake a little bit. So that's a 70-30 coming into. All right. And again, you want to ride with your head on a swivel. And when I say that, I mean like that. You never know when somebody's going to make a mistake. Ride like 50% of the people want to kill you, and 50% of the people don't see you, and it'll be a mistake. But either way, you'll end up in a lot of hurt. So again, it's going to take time and practice. But you want to definitely start out slow. Always have two hands on the handlebars. And always try to be visual. Okay, so I'm going to go out here to the lane so everyone can see me. So I come into a complete stop. I got plenty of time, and I'm gone. Get up to speed as soon as you can. Now, the reason I personally drive on the outside part of the lane instead of the inside part of the lane is for maneuverability. So like I was saying, you never know where trouble is going to come from. So being on this side of the lane, I have room to maneuver to the left or to the right to get out of the way. We turn on our turn signals and you have to push them in to cancel them. And now in this type of situation, you just want to relax. You're already out here in the traffic, and you just want to focus on everything around you. Behind you, look in your rearview mirrors, and paying attention to the light. Now here is the intersection, okay? Always give yourself room. Stay away as cars turn, because they will turn around and clip you. And never leave the intersection right away. Take your time, okay? Make sure traffic has been stopped over there before you coast down to an intersection. So alright folks, again, this is the end of this series. Thank everybody who's watched and tuned in, and hopefully some of you have actually learned something. So until next time, this is Kachi Kid. Peace out, everybody. Drive safe.